to just explain how grateful I am for this work that I've done in my life. I just want to motivate you to consider spending the time trying to figure yourself out. Figure out, why you think the way you do, why you act the way you do. What is it that's toxic in your life? What is it that's healthy about the way you live? Maybe choose to do more of what makes you healthy. Choose to cut out the toxins, like do a complete detox. And I'm not talking about food, which, that's important too. But right now what I'm talking about is mental attitudes, people, places that you visit often. And everywhere we go, we pick up ideas. We pick up, it's obvious. You pick up mannerisms from people. I work in a bakery and I catch myself swearing at work and doing things, and I'm like, what in the world? Did that just come out of my mouth? Like, you pick things up everywhere you go. Maybe consider, hey, every time I go to this place, I just feel negative when I leave. It might be a friendship that's kind of worn out. You're just like, you were at this stage in your life when you made this friend. And not to say that you don't care about this friend or that you don't want the best for them, but maybe it's not the best place for you to be right now while you're on this journey of self-discovery of what is it that I truly want? What is it that I spend my precious days, because your life are the days that you live. Like, the end of your life, all you're going to have is the days that you spent. Don't waste any more of your days if you know in your heart that you're not supposed to be there. Whether it's a friend, like I said, that you were in a place and you made this friend and you guys vibed together because all you did was complain about, your relationships or your job or whatever. Yes, you can care about that person, but maybe it's time to move on, and that's okay. Allow yourself to make those hard changes in your life if you need to. Oftentimes when you're in a place of change, when you're in a place of self-reflection and really thinking about what it is that compromises of your life, or what makes up your life, I guess, for a better way to say it. What literally makes up your life, and what can you do to make it better? When you start to do that, you're going to come up with some things that are kind of nudge in the back of your brain, like, okay, I don't really vibe with this person anymore. Sometimes there's this weird, uncomfortable silence when we're together because, I don't have anything to complain about, and there's really nothing for us to talk about anymore, or whatever. Or you find yourself reverting back to complaining about everything when you're around them because that's what you did, and that silence just feels weird. So you're like, I do have something to complain about. It's this or that or whatever. And then you end up in this negative energetic space where you feel that, and literally we attract what we feel. That's for another video, but you don't want to be in that negative space. And so if you need to cut a friendship, or if you need to spend less time with a certain family member, I've had to make those really hard decisions. Even sometimes with my children, when they're going through a certain stage or something, I've had to kind of back off a little bit. And even though I love them and I pray for them constantly, and I'm there if they have a real need, but I've had to kind of take myself back and realize that if I'm in that space with them and they have that negative energy around them, and they're literally, sometimes it feels like sucking the life out of me, that I'm doing everything I can to change. And then of course you have that negative, like, oh, well, it's because, I taught them this and they picked this up from me. You know what? All of that may be true. But let me tell you something. You're not going to help them if you don't change yourself. And sometimes you have to back away. You have to take that time, step back, really evaluate things. Am I helping them? Am I enabling them? Think about those kind of things. I just have to tell you that on the other side of this work, so much joy, so much gratitude, so much. Yes, you still have things that you need to work on. I mean, there's things at the front of my mind all the time that I'm like, oh man, I still got to work on this, and I got to work on that, and this is still not good, or that's still not good. Those are always going to be there. You're always going to have something that you need to work on. But I can tell you, doing this work, this energetic work in your life and in your spirit and your body, enables you, gives you the confidence and the desire to continue changing. I went from, basically just existing to now I'm like, how can I give back? How can I be a contributing member of society? How can I take whatever gift it is in here that God put there and make the world a better place? Get it out there, get that message out. Like, you were put here for a reason. How can I share? How can I love people and serve in a way that makes them better? And that's by this change. It's so much joy, so much joy. Just realize that you're worth it. Realize that there is a great reward waiting for you on the other side. A scripture I like to say all the time is, that just left my brain, took that corner and completely forgot. Do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you shall reap a harvest. Sometimes I get tired and I'm just like, ugh, I really feel like going through all these processes and doing all this stuff. But when that happens, I remember that don't give up. Don't grow weary. Keep on keeping on. You're going to reap a harvest. It's sometimes the best changes take the longest to see. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Take you along on my little road trip to go to Sprouts in Silverdale to get some really good groceries. But take care.